If you're new to Adobe InDesign, creating tables can feel overwhelming, especially when you're starting with a plain block of text and a lot of formatting options. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be a daunting process. In this tutorial, I'll show you how to convert a simple text file into a table, and then style it step by step using cell insets, paragraph styles, alternating fills, and custom borders. By the end, you'll see how a few straightforward formatting choices can turn a basic table into a polished, visual appealing part of your layout. Let's jump into the video and get started. On my screen, I have a single slide for a presentation deck. On the right side of the page, I'd like to add the table that'll go along with the information for this slide. The first step is adding the text file, which is included in the exercise files for this tutorial. You can find the link in the description below. Let's create the text frame. I'll click on the type tool, and starting in the third column in the top left, I'll click and drag and make my way to the bottom right corner in the final frame. Let's go back to the toolbar, click on the selection tool, and then click on the text frame once. And now we can make our way up to File and Place, or Command-Control-D as a shortcut, and we could choose the text file. You could see it's called campaign_performance.txt. Go ahead and click Open, and that places the text inside of the text frame. Now it'll come in rather small, so let's increase the size, Command-A to select all, and let's change the point size to about 28, just to increase the text a bit. And now we'll convert this text to a table. So again, select all the text, make your way up to Table, and choose Convert Text to Table. Now, because all the columns in the text file that I'm sharing here with you are separated by tabs, let's go ahead and choose Tab as the column separator. The rows in this text file are separated with paragraph breaks, so choose Paragraph as the row separator. Once you have those settings, go ahead and click OK to convert the text to a table. Now, this will add the text to a very basic table design. Let's now use the table formatting tools to bring it to another level. The next step is adjusting the table to fit the space. And in this case, I want to bring the top row down a little bit to give a little bit more space for the header. Now, I can simply drag the bottom border of the table to the margin below. Now, there's obviously too much space in the last row, so I'm going to select the second row and drag all the way down until I select the final row, right-click, and then choose Distribute Rows Evenly. That gives me evenly distributed rows in my table. Now, I created some paragraph styles in this document, and I'd like to apply one of them to the cell text to start. So I'll select all the text in this table, go to my paragraph styles, and choose Cell Text Black. That applies that style to all the text inside of the table. Next, let's adjust the cell insets and the alignment in the table. We'll start with the columns and rows under the header. So click away and then select only the columns and rows. Let's make our way up to Table, Cell Options, and choose Text. This will bring up the Cell Options panel. And the first option here is Cell Insets. You can see by default it's set to 4 pixels. You'll see if I increase the cell insets, the text within those cells move away from the edges, which is exactly what we want. So I'm just going to click and hold, and in this case, let's set it to about 30 pixels. We also want to ensure that the text is aligned in the vertical centers of the cells. So right here under Vertical Justification, let's change the Align dropdown from Align Top to Align Center, and that just centers the text within each cell. And now I can click OK to finalize those settings. Next, I'll select only the top row. We'll select all the text and the cells, and we can align the vertical justification from the top control panel by clicking this icon. That's the Align Center option. So that aligns the text center inside of the cell. With the text still selected, let's center align the text to the cell as well. I'm also going to select the last 2 columns and center align the text to those cells as well. Now to this point, you can see that the table is starting to take shape. Next, let's bring in some color and contrast to make the table even more visually appealing. Now, here comes the fun part. Click anywhere inside the table, go up to Table, Table Options, and then choose Alternating Fills. Here, we can alternate colors between rows or columns. In this case, let's do the latter. From the Alternating Pattern drop-down, let's choose Every Other Column. You can see by default, and ensure that you have your preview button selected on, the color will be black with a 20% tint. However, I went ahead and created two swatch colors that we'll be using in this tutorial. When I click the first color drop-down, I'll choose this vibrant blue color and change the tint to 100%. I'll select the second color and let's go ahead and choose this vibrant green. Now it's already set to 100%, and once you have those settings, go ahead and click OK. I'd like the header to be black to distinguish it from the other cells, so I'm going to select the cells in the header and I'll go to my swatches panel, and in the swatches panel I can toggle between the object shape as well as the text. So in this case, I'll choose the object shape, choose the fill color, and we want black. Alternatively, I'll click on the type, you can see the little T here, and I'll change the color to this white color that I've added here in the swatches panel. Now it's good practice to always go back to your selection tool and then click away so you're not clicking inside the table and making any other changes. Next, I'll apply the proper style to the column text elements. I'll start by selecting all the text in the first column, just like so. Go to my paragraph styles, and you can see I have a style called Cell Text White. And you can see that will change the color from black to white. If I pan over to the left, you can see I want to change the text and style for total reach, this column here. So I'll select it, and this will be figure white. Alternatively, I can select the last row, and this will be figure black. And just like that, I've formatted the text and applied those styles to the table. The table's looking great, but there's one last thing I'd like to do. I want to remove the border and only have white gap lines for the rows and columns. Let me show you what I mean. Go ahead and select all the cells in the table, and you'll notice in the control panel, there's what's called the Stroke Proxy, which allows you to control the table and cell borders. Now currently, if you have a look, the outer border is highlighted. You can see it in blue. So with it highlighted, I'm going to change the point size from 1 to 0, and then just ensure there's no color applied. Now if I click on the selection tool and click away, you'll notice that the border has been removed from the table. However, the cell borders weren't affected. You can see in the table they're still black. Let me put my guides back on, and I'll select all the text in the table. I'll go back to the Stroke Proxy dialog up top, and in this case, I'm going to hold my Shift key and deselect the blue areas. So I want to deselect the outer border. However, I'm going to select the inner lines, the vertical and horizontal lines. Now, before I change the weight, I want to make the color that white color I included in the swatches panel. You can see it down below. I'll select that color, and now the inner lines are white. Now I want to increase the stroke weight quite a bit to create a gap feel inside of my table. I'm going to increase the stroke weight of those inner cell lines to about 6 point, and that creates what looks like a gap between the columns and the rows. And just like that, we converted a text file to a table and stylized it using cell options and alternating fills. And that's how you could take a simple text file, convert it into a table, and transform it into a polished design using InDesign's table formatting tools. Give this technique a try in your own layout and think about how you could adapt the colors, spacing, and typography to match your own project. If you found this tutorial helpful, give the video a like and subscribe to the channel for more Adobe InDesign tips and tutorials. If you want to learn more about InDesign, then check out the playlist right below me on the screen. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.